Hello, everybody. I'm glad to hear, to see, and to meet my colleagues from different countries, my colleagues from Arctic regions. I want to speak about problems of biodiversity and climate change in Russian Arctic. I present brief results of field and remote studies of Laboratory of Biogeography in Institute of Geography in Russian Academy of Science in last 2 years. Welcome to Russian Arctic, colleagues. The first about biodiversity in Russian Arctic. You can see information about biodiversity, different group of plant and animals in the Russian Arctic. For example, the mammals, about 75 species, birds, about 240 species, reptiles, only 1, amphibian, 2, and other group. It's very important now because the part of Arctic biodiversity in Russian Arctic, that's not so high, about a few %. Only some group of lichens, for example, from plants and some fishes and insects, more than 1%. And other about climate change in Russian Arctic. It's a map of temperature, annual temperature in Northern Eurasian region. And you can see Russian Arctic, it's red color, because about 0.5 and 1 grad per year, per decade increase in last decades temperature. But in different region of Russian Arctic, the climate change, different. For example, you can see Kola Peninsula and other regions. Warmth period change with the cold period, and in last decades, next warmth period. It's not trends if in centuries, inner centuries. It's cycles of temperature change, and because the answer of biodiversity, reaction of biodiversity, same cycle in other regions, because start of warming, for example, in Russian Arctic, in different regions have the different dates. Some regions start warming in about 90s years, in other region only in the first year of third century, third millennium. About effects of climate change. The first effects of greening of tundra in 2020. You can see the warming in Russian Arctic and greening effect of tundra. What's mechanism for greening? The first mechanism is occupied tundra and other polar deserts, grasses and shrubs. And after it, through cosmos, you can see more greening surface of tundra. It's effect of warming. Our colleague from USA and other Arctic country published the maps of NDVI index for understanding processes of greening in Arctic tundra. But we use other methods for analysis of greening. The first mechanism is its second effects of warming. It's growth and stabilization of primary production. You can see on this slide two maps. The first, it's modern primary production in Russian Arctic, and not all region have the dark color. And some forecast for 2025 here. Not all region increase primary production. It's very important because some regions stop warming and stop reaction of warming. You can see in a different point where we analyze this field method cycle change of productivity tundra. It's not trends for increasing, it's a reaction of changes annually temperature. The next effect, third effects of climate change and invasion alien species in Arctic. It's not so large processes because in Russian Arctic not many areas disturbed for occupied of alien species. But now we know about 300 species which found in Russian Arctic. This diagram illustrates of alien species abundance in different regions of Arctic, including in Russian Arctic in the left part of picture. It's special biodiversity of native and alien vascular plants in Russian Arctic. And we can see the percent of alien species in local floras. Kola Peninsula, Pechora region, Yamal Peninsula, Taimyr and other regions. And you can see that this percent is about 5, 10, 15% from local flora diversity. It's number of naturalized species in the Arctic region, because not all invasion species you can found in next year after fixing. And you can see 100 and more species in Russian Arctic naturalized. Next, fourth effects of climate change of dynamics of forest in northern boundaries between tundra and forest. We study this process along the all boundaries from Kola Peninsula to Chukotka Peninsula, but it's very intensive, these processes now in Kola Peninsula, and you can see that some regions receive new areas of forest in tundra, and the speed of these processes in a mountain 50 meter per decades, in plain about a few hundreds meter per decades, occupied trees of tundra. The fifth effect about change in animals population. for example, mammals and birds. The first sample about reindeer. The warming last decades have the effects, fragmentation of areal, the habitats reindeer. And 1950s year, this areal occupied the more part of Arctic. Now only some small areas for habitats of population in Taimyr, in northern of Yakutia and Azy. The next sample with the Arctic geese, some species have the more broad areas after warming. Some species, the localization, the habitats in small areas. If you can see Branta, Leucopsis, and other species. Next sample of effects of warming, the damping of lemming cycles. Observation only in the western region of Russian Arctic, and in the eastern regions, lemmings not broke cycles and continue this dynamics. It's very interesting effect because it connect with problems of increasing of productivity, increasing effect, impact of some other species on grass cover and other. The trends of recent decades, compositional fauna, it's connected with birds population change. For example, the number of and distribution of some groups of wadrons, some species, and positive changes, some species negative changes, and I believe that it's very important for understanding the not direct effect of warming, only through change of habitats for biodiversity. This is illustration of effect warming on migration species, waders, geese, and others. All material about birds' migration we collect in results, the European project results, Icarus, because we using special equipment for study change of migration of Arctic birds through international station in Space International Station, special antenna and other equipment. It's information about a change of dynamic of ungulates and predators, mammals in Russian Arctic under climate warming. Some species it's increase, some species decrease, but anthropogenic press of this species, the change is same because not effect of increasing and decreasing for mammals population, impact of hunting, for example. But special problems, the dynamics of population of polar bear. Now we, together with Russian Geographical Society, we have a special project for estimate populations polar bear, because it's the very important indicator of state Arctic nature, Arctic biodiversity. In photo, you can see compact place with polar bear, about 100 polar bear meet in valley body. And what about past change of biodiversity? What effects of reversible, irreversible, and cycle? Some species, some population have conserve cycles, and some species, some group of biodiversity now have the effect of Atlantization. For example, the western part of Russian Arctic, and or Americanization, flora and fauna in Chukotka, for example, biodiversity. And by geographical effect, extinction, some species, increasing, decreasing area for some population, and changing of migration ways, for example, and a lot other mechanisms for reaction of warming on Arctic biodiversity. And I think that very important forecast for Russian Arctic biodiversity, because some scientists, our colleague from USA and other country, propose the forecast where we can found the, after 100 years, Russian Arctic has disappeared, and all areas occupied the forests. And after 200, 300, and boreal forests disappear, and subtropical ecosystem occupies the Arctic. No, it's not possible, because now in this moment we observe the effects reversible and not irreversible processes with situation, biodiversity situation in Arctic. And I believe that many millenniums we can observation of Arctic biodiversity, and our system of nature protected areas support us. About what reserves, nature protected areas, I spoke. The first, a lot заповедник in national park in European part of Russian Arctic. For example, Russian Arctic National Park in Novaya Zemlya archipelago, including Franz Josef Land archipelago. In Yamal and Gedan, a few reserves, about a few million hectares. Taimyr Peninsula, 4 areas, more than 8 million hectares. Northern Yakutia, Lensky reserves, and other. And Chukotka with International Natural Park Beringia. I want to invite you in Russian Arctic and receive the enjoying on Russian Arctic biodiversity. Bye.